Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we will be doing these Haunted Mansion press-on nails. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so you don't miss out on any other spooky tutorials. So today we are going to do press-on nails and focus more on nail art. That is the fun part about Halloween and spooky nails. If you want to see my full tutorial on how to prep press-on nails, please check that linked above. Otherwise, we're just gonna jump right into the base color, which is called Earth Sign from Madam Glam. When I think of Haunted Mansion, I think of a lot of dark purple, so I definitely wanted to do a dark purple base, and this is the perfect color for that. As always, all products used will be listed below and linked as well where possible, so be sure to check that out. And next we are taking this white liner gel. I like using a white liner gel whenever I have a darker base. This helps ensure that any nail art that you're doing, especially if you're using a lot of dark colors, that they don't get washed into the background and they still show up. We are basically starting out with doing the Haunted Mansion logo, the lettering for that. I don't do lettering very often, so this was a little challenging for me. But what I noticed about the Haunted Mansion logo is that the tops of the letters are really squared off, and there are a lot of long, narrow details in this, meaning a lot of the letters, like especially you'll see with like the O's and the I's, they're very long and narrow, and they kind of almost have like not a lot of space between the letters. So I'm just taking my time here and drawing out each letter, basically sketching it out and then making sure that I square off the ends. And once you've drawn each letter, I would recommend flash curing it, just so that you don't have to worry about messing that one up as you move on to the next one, and then of course fully cure it at the end. I am also using a 9mm brush here. This one is from Nailz by Deb, so using a smaller brush definitely helps. The thinner your brush, the easier it will be to kind of draw these kind of really fine details, especially when it comes to doing lettering. So the haunted part is complete, so now we are moving on to mansion. And you'll see here with the M, I'm trying to make sure I really square off the tops and then do the curves at the bottom as I had seen in the reference image. I was really trying to pay attention to those curves and little details wherever I could. And this is the fun part about Halloween nails and holiday nails, you know, fall and winter this time of year, in my opinion, is you really just get to step out of your comfort zone and try different types of nail art that you wouldn't normally do. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or pressured, especially maybe you've been seeing Halloween nail content on your feed since like July 1st, I totally get it. But it's really just about having fun and trying different things. You know, there's obviously no pressure to start Halloween nails this early, but I just have a lot of fun with it, and it's a great excuse to just practice nail art that you may not normally do, especially more detailed nail art. Plus, as a content creator, I like to put out these tutorials sooner rather than later so others can save them and practice. Now we are gonna do a ghostly glow. I'm using that lime green, gray, and top coat and mixing it together and making a light green color and just running that across the cured white gel. This is one of my favorite effects to do during this time of year because it just adds a really subtle but cool effect to your nails, basically like a neon glow. You know, you can do this with, this doesn't have to be with lettering, it can even be with like actual nail art. So you're gonna see me doing this throughout this set, and it's super easy to do. Again, you just need the top coat and like a lime green and a darker color depending on how light or dark you want it, and definitely more top coat versus gel polish. Next, we are drawing Madame Leota. This was definitely the most challenging part of this entire nail set. My motto is always just to try to see it all the way through, but I definitely erased and had to retry a lot of times. So just take your time with it, but hopefully it will come easier to you than it did to me. Right now we are just sketching out the globe, just drawing a circle, and then kind of the base for that, which is, you know, the two little circles on the side, and then kind of this rectangle shape with the two legs coming out. We are outlining all of this in white as well, and then we're gonna go back with a black gel polish at the end to kind of outline it and fill in the color. Now for some color blocking, we're gonna take Solo Cup, which is this teal gel liner from Nails by Deb, and we're gonna add some top coat. I'm gonna be using this color as part of the crystal ball. It's not a globe. I don't know why I'm thinking it's not holidays yet. It's Halloween time. Then we're gonna take a little bit of Genie in a bottle as well and add that in, and this is basically gonna be our base color. So this kind of really shows how the white gel helps. If I had just done this color directly on top of the purple, it would not have popped as much. So that's why you don't have to worry too much about the white being like super perfect underneath. It's really just laying a foundation so that if you're doing a lighter color or even a darker color, that it just pops a little bit more and doesn't get washed into the background. And so we are just gonna finish filling out the rest of this crystal ball. And again, since we added that top coat, it should create more of like a translucent look. So once we fully cure this, we're gonna take some black liner gel and we're gonna start sketching out Madame Leota's face, kind of drawing the top with these two curved lines and then starting to bring that down on the sides. Sketching out faces can be really difficult, so I would recommend just taking your time and kind of breaking it down shape by shape. So kind of an upside down U coming to a little bit of a point for the bottom of the face, and then kind of drawing these two thick arches for the eyebrows, and then mapping out her eyes. We're just doing kind of two almond shapes for the eyes, and really just trying to use a light touch here. And then we're gonna go ahead and map out her lips. Just trying to keep a really light touch here and really focus on using just the tip of my brush, and then just two little black dots for the eyes. Now the last big detail we have to draw is her hair, and I basically just try to focus on doing a variety of curved lines. I'm still using the black liner gel here and just slowly trying to draw each piece of hair and really try to have them going out in a variety of directions, kind of based on the reference image I was using. So I'm basically just gonna go around her whole head and keep drawing all the pieces of hair, trying to make them thicker towards the base and thinner towards the center, and try to make them curved and kind of going in a variety of directions. Once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and outline the base of the crystal ball. We're just taking that black liner gel and basically just filling in that white outline that we made. And definitely when working with like black liner gel or black gel polish, I try to keep my layers pretty thin since it does take a little bit more to cure and you don't want it to turn out wrinkly. And next we are taking that teal blue mixture from earlier. We're not gonna use the one with the blue in it, just the teal blue with the top coat mixed in it. And we are just going around the entire crystal ball, just working our way around the edges, a little bit on the base that we drew as well, just so that we create this kind of neon glow. And then we're gonna go ahead and cure and top coat that and move on to the next nail. This one was my favorite one to draw. This is the hitchhiking ghost. And it's so crazy because I remember drawing a hitchhiking ghost last year, like maybe exactly a year ago, and it took me so long, and it was just really nice to feel so much more comfortable and have more speed at doing this. So just goes to show like all those times you sit down to practice really do pay off in the end, and you're only going to keep improving even if it doesn't feel like that progress is linear all the time. So this one is pretty simple. You pretty much just take the white liner gel and outline the top hat, the body, and then of course you want to get the hands. The legs are pretty skinny, so try to keep that in mind, the proportions here. The body is much bigger than the legs when it comes to the hitchhiking ghost, so I'm trying to keep the feet and the leg pretty skinny. And you want to make sure the outline is kind of at a slant. I saw in the reference images they're pretty much kind of crooked. And then for the hitchhiking part, obviously they've got their thumb sticking out. So I'm just doing this as kind of a general outline. I'm not doing a ton of detail, but that is kind of an important part of this as well. So just sketching that out before I cure and then go back in and fill in with white liner gel for the entire area. And now we're gonna go ahead and go back to that teal mixture that we have on our palette. I'm just adding in some more top coat so it's a little bit more translucent. And then we're gonna go over the entire white area that we outlined. I know teal is not a color we normally think of when we think Halloween nails, but this actually turned out really nice and gave a really nice contrast with the purple. Once we fully cure that teal color, we're gonna go ahead and create a ghostly neon glow. We're gonna start off with some blooming gel and apply that around the corners. Be sure to leave the blooming gel uncured so that the product works the way that it's supposed to. And then we're gonna take some neon green gel polish mixed with some top coat and apply that around the edges. And you can already see how the blooming gel is basically spreading around the product. Once it's to your liking, go ahead and cure, and that's a super easy way to add a ghostly effect to your spooky nail art. And we are going to finish off this set with some simple Halloween details. We're going to do some spiderwebs and bats, which are classic Halloween nail art designs. With the spiderwebs, I'm just starting off with 2 straight lines on the edges of the nail, and then drawing some lines going diagonally. You just want to make sure that your lines are evenly spaced apart. And the last step is super simple. You just want to draw U-shapes connecting the lines. Try to make sure that the lines here are pretty curved. If you make them too straight, it's not going to give the spiderweb effect that you're looking for. And I'm also trying to make sure that the U-shapes that I'm drawing are kind of connected and lined up with the ones that I've already drawn in the other section, if that makes sense, and that there's also the same amount in each section as well. And that's it for the spiderweb. To draw a bat, I like to start off with 2 triangle shapes at the top. These basically are going to be the ears, and then we're just going to connect that and round that out into a circle for the rest of the body and fill that in. Moving on to the wings, we're going to start off with the longer slanted line. Bringing that down, we're going to start drawing 2 points that are connected by a curved line. I also like to go back and just round out, and I just like to go back and kind of round out that curved line as much as possible. That really kind of helps define the wings a little bit more. You can also make those points more defined as well as needed. Now repeating that on the other side, starting off with a slanted line for the top of the wing. And now we just bring that down and make 2 points that are connected by a curved line. To add a little bit more accents, I'm just taking a dotting tool and then taking that 9mm brush and just lightly flicking that out to create some stars. This is also a great accent to add to your nails in any color or placement that you would like. I try to keep my touch really light and just literally just lightly flick it out with my wrist, and it usually works pretty well for the stars. Then we're going to take some blooming gel and apply that around the edges and take that neon mixture once again with the top coat and just go around the edges. Since we did the ghostly glow on the other nails, we're going to go ahead and repeat it here as well, and then we're going to go ahead and top coat it. And here is the final look for this Haunted Mansion Halloween nail art. I'm super excited to be doing more Halloween nail tutorials, so be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and stay tuned for the next video. See you then.